just got to do one hard recording.
Click the buttons. There's so many buttons.
Yeah, there's a lot of buttons in there. All right. Well, you are looking fresh there. Got
Thanks,
your
buddy.
Glasses on, your fancy shirt.
Yeah, the eyes are going. The shirts, I like the shirt. This was my, I don't know if you can get a close look at it, but it was my 4th of July shirt. But I felt like some light colors today.
Very fourth today.
Yeah, very 4thy, very patriotic.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
got a little camo on.
Camis on. Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's get into another dandy episode of Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. What do you say?
I'm game, dude. I'm game. I'm here.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to Vikings, Outlaws, and Cowboys. I'm your host, the Jarl, and this is my co-host, the Boat.
Howdy, gang.
Maybe I can do a more awkward intro next time.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
We
came in with the energy there, huh?
We took a few days off, so it's like riding a bike.
I got fucking notes all over here. It's fucking shit. It's fucking
get him out of there.
David Letterman the shit out of it.
Yeah, get him out of there.
That one too. That one's gone.
It's not even Friday yet, guy.
All right, let's fucking go. All right. Now we're off to a start.
Notes.
I don't even have show notes today. We're just we're winging it. We're raw dogging this show again. So welcome back, everybody. Glad you're with us. If you're with us, if you're not, get with us. And we're going to have a glorious show today.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know if you added anything to the agenda there.
I'm just going to slip some shit in,
Slip shit in, yeah, where you
we'll
can.
We'll do some fun shit.
Yeah. All right. I always like that, some surprises here and there.
Yeah.
Off the cuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like surprise sex.
I don't know if I like surprise sex.
It's like sleep sex, but you don't have to be asleep for it.
I don't get that these days. It's unfortunate.
Me neither.
Very unfortunate. Yeah, if I get surprise sex, there's someone stuck in my window.
Fucking P. Diddy's crawling in. Surprise, motherfucker.
With all his dildos and lubes.
I don't know
if I'm going to say that on this channel, but
I don't know how much lube you can get in one place, but that fucking guy figured it out.
I didn't even know they sold it. He must have.
Yeah, I think he bought it by the pallet.
Yeah, by the pallet.
Yeah, Healy, Epstein Island, L.A. Huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fun. We got a nice little agenda today. We got a little sports talk. Bringing in some sports talk. I think that always helps with the men's mental health, right? And we got the two big ones going right now. We got NFL and we got a little bit of MLB. Of course, we got our fire report as always. Who's hot? Who's not? And who's actually on fire? And then a little men's mental health.
That sounds fantastic. I like the agenda today.
Yeah,
not just because I wrote it, but I think there's some good topics in there. I think
we got a little bit of September 11th. We just celebrated, mourned, celebrated. I guess it's kind of a little bit of both, right?
Well, yes,
mourned the loss, celebrated, the lives and our triumph over evil.
Yeah, said thanks again to those who sacrificed, and
yeah. And then we got a little bit of prepping. We got a little conspiracy corner, and if you make it that far, you can comment on it. But until then, what are you drinking?
I got a little bit of everything. I cracked it. Well, I found these Cayman Jacks here. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, they're like margaritas, and they're ready to drink margaritas, and they are not bad. I had them on the golf course a few weeks back, and some of them are a little tangy, but others are pretty damn good. So
Yeah, some of them you just kind of got to give to Rob the shotgun.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
And then the rest you're fine.
Mm-hmm. So I'm working on that and a little bit of water, and I don't know. I have a bottle of Fuhr over there, our famous peach spirited Viking mead that I haven't opened yet, and I'm eager to open, but I don't know if we'll get that far tonight.
I was gonna say I don't know if we've ever got a mead tarted on the podcast.
No, we might have to get.
Maybe when we go live, we'll plan for a live meetup. How about that?
That's a good idea. Maybe we can get the mics to call in and bring them in there with Kelly and have a meet date with them.
Yeah, get a little. So yeah, that's fun. Should we get into a little bit of sports talk?
Well, yeah, sure. But what are you drinking? Are you raw dogging again? You going no booze, no nicotine, no nothing? What are you doing?
Got a little bit of nicotine, I think. Ooh, that's low. Oh fuck, we're on one, bud. We might be raw dogging this. Might have to take a break so I can go grab some.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, we're definitely not raw dogging it like that tonight. We got a little bit of JMO, a little bit of Keystone Light, so we can be smooth like Keith Stone.
All right.
Yeah, the mullet is growing out as we speak. What?
You know what I did get though? I got these in the from the delivered today. The Alphas. They're a fully loaded nootropic pouch.
A nootropic? Is it like a mushy pouch?
It's just kind of like a Zen pouch, but it's a little bit bigger, which I don't hate. But yeah, it supports memory, focus, and calm. I heard our friend Rogan talking about him and endorsing him, so I thought I'd give it a shot, see what happens.
Does it have like nicotine in it?
No, I think it's nicotine free.
Oh.
But it's all nootropic stuff. So yeah, there's some good stuff in here. Hopefully it boosts my brain function.
Yeah, well,
I just moved that to the upper deck, and then I'm going Zen lower deck.
Yeah, I just learned that I might have to quit doing these things.
So
I had a friend tell me that they were sending a bunch of money over there to the opposition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can support that.
Yeah, I don't know why big companies do that. It seems weird to me.
Well, you would think like most of their company or their customer base is not that.
yeah, right.
I don't know. Just maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's a tough call.
Yeah, usually it seems more, roughy necky, not like bitches at the club. I don't know. Maybe I'm off base. I haven't exactly done the research yet, so
more Uncle Tucky and less P. Diddy, huh?
Yeah, really. So we got something else going on here. So we're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah, we will have to figure that out. We'll have to keep up on the news on that one.
So we're on 6-2, huh?
62.
All right. Well, let's jump into a little bit of the sports beat. Ferocious.
The music. You hear the music?
So bad.
It's so bad.
Oh,
so bad.
It's like a 1990s sports talk entry.
Exactly. It was definitely on purpose.
I like it. I think we should stick with it.
So diving into sports talk, I'll kick it off here. I guess by the time people are going to be watching this, it's going to be a little bit old news, but the old Tyreek Hill, he's at his old shenanigans again.
Classic.
Yeah. Cuffed and stuffed there before the game. I think it was. Yeah. Going 90 and a 30. Maybe he was late. I don't know. I don't understand.
I mean,
It's
clearly he didn't do his 7 Ps if he was late, right?
yeah, it's weird.
Proper planning prevents piss poor performance, Tyreek. You
It's
know?
weird to me that I mean, I guess you're getting complacent in every job, right?
I do imagine. Yeah, everybody's got to go through the ups and downs,
Yeah.
right?
So, but I can't imagine getting paid that much as an NFL star, not just a player. It's not like he's a defensive end, you know what I mean, with no name that never gets his name on the scoreboard. He's a star.
Yeah.
And he's been in the news before for other things. And you would think that you're making that kind of money, you'd set your alarm clock. It's game. It's game. You got one job. You got one day a week where you actually work. Like you practice every day and you practice hard and you practice for
Hitting the weight
probably
room, yeah.
10 to 12 hours, between practice and weights and drills and all that. I get it. And part of being a top tier athlete, you're watching your diet. So all that kind of thing's going into it too. But really, you only have to work.
Yeah, for 17 weeks.
What?
17 weeks out of 52. Your ass has to work.
Yeah.
Like, what the
and then if you make it to the playoffs, sure, you got a few more weeks to go.
Oh, but, gosh darn. And you got a big bonus going.
Miami's not making anytime soon. But, he's a little late for the game. It's Sunday. Pulled over out of the stadium. They release him. He goes in, scores a touchdown. His end zone dance was cuff him and stuff him, which I gotta give that to him. That was pretty awesome. I mean, way to stay on up to current events, Tyreek. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, when you're making the current event, and did you see like what Miami had to do to get him like out of the whole thing? And on time?
There was a lot of
let's just call it bribery. Let's just call it bribery.
I didn't want to go there. I just wanted to
They're going to give a fat donation to the Miami-Dade Police Department. I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they'll be getting a very nice little bonus.
Like Tyreek's going to end up being, the guy down there doing Shop with a Cop and Tyreek Hill.
Shop with a Cop.
You ever seen that, dude? Shop with a Cop?
Shop
with Tyreek. Where you just go and shoplift everything and throw it in the back of a Lambo.
Yeah, it's
I never understood it with NFL players. You got fucking Hernandez murdering people. You have dog fighting rings. It's like, dude, you guys are getting paid so much money to work for let's call it 20 weeks. Okay. Training camp, maybe 21 out of 52 weeks. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm Monday morning quarterbacking the shit out of this thing. Right. But you're getting paid to work for 21 weeks and you're getting multiple, just ridiculous fucking money.
Ridiculous money. What was that new contract? What's his name got? They put it in the news this week. I should know this. I'm sorry. To the listeners, it was $250 million.
What, for a football contract?
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
I don't know how long the contract was, and was it a quarterback? I think it was a quarterback. It was a young guy.
Oh shit! Yeah, you got Herbert from Los Angeles, 5-year, $262 million, and then you got Mahomey, 10 years, $450 million.
Yeah, Mahomey. I don't know if he's gonna last that long, dude.
I know. Well, so the thing with those contracts, though, is they're not guaranteed.
Yeah, they aren't guaranteed, but they're not guaranteed up to a certain point, though. So there's a lot of different stipulations in there, and I'd like to know some of them because if your team is garbage, then what do you do? I mean, that's not my bad. I'm playing. I'm still getting decent numbers. Yeah,
if you are right. That's kind of like a differentiation. Yeah, ask me to say that later on in the podcast. Between like MLB and football, right? Is most of the MLB contracts are guaranteed funds. and they might have a deferment on them or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still guaranteed money.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty wild. That's a lot of money.
So, how about the upside down week that we had?
Dude, absolutely insane upside down week. It was like being in the what's the Stranger Things thing, the upside down.
I've never fucking seen that. I've tried.
Yeah.
I always get like 2 episodes in and I'm like, fuck this.
I watched like the first season and I really liked it. But then, what bummed me out is they didn't film the first season and the second season together. So you come back the second season like 3 years later or 2 years later or something like that, and all the kids have aged. So they look weird.
They're like 35 now. It's really fucking weird.
Seriously, dude. They're all like preteens now, and I'm like, this was so much better when they were like Goonies age,
Yeah, they kind of did a whole Goonies thing with it, didn't they?
Yeah, they kind of did. But the monsters were cool though, and the concept was cool. I really liked.
Well, it's Montauk, right? So Montauk, New York. It's they're basically just trying to tell you the truth through a Goonie style TV show.
Yeah, they are.
Which is cool. I get it. Throw it in your face. Thanks, Hollywood or Netflix or whoever.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. They did a good job with it.
Anyway,
but the NFL, it was super upside down. You had the the Saints over them boys, and they didn't just win; they kicked the shit out of them. I felt really good about. I watched
being a Skins fan.
Yeah, being a Skins fan.
Well, Commanders fan.
And the cool thing is about the NFC East. So the Skins won too. And Philly lost, and Skins beat the Giants. So in our division, we're first place.
I mean,
in week 2, baby.
It's not gonna last.
It's probably not gonna last, but
let's be real. Come on.
It's been a long time since we could say we were in first place in our division. Period. So I want to revel in it for this week.
Yeah, we'll give you that for a week.
But the Raiders beat Baltimore. Minnesota beat the hell out of San Francisco, which was awesome. And guess who else won?
Tell me.
The Jets.
Yeah, how about them Jets? Huh?
Jets beat the Titans, and that those were the biggest like upside downers, and the whole week seemed weird and upside down. It just after the Skins one, I was like, what's next?
Well, you know what I'm feeling pretty good about too, and you can call me whatever you want to call me. Fuck you, but I have abandoned Denver for being like my whole life a Denver fan because of the bullshit they want to pull. And fuck you, Denver. If you're listening from Denver, you're cool, but fuck the football team. I'm officially now a Steelers fan. So
you're a Steelers fan. Well, the Steelers won too.
Yeah, they're 2-0.
Actually, beat Denver this week. Yeah,
it was a perfect year to jump ship. Really,
sayonara to Denver this week.
I'm gonna go get my dick kicked in as a Steelers fan and a Jets fan now because might as well fucking whatever.
Well, the Steelers are looking pretty tough though. I think they're first in their division too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Yeah,
not really looking at divisions right now. Just looking at scores, and that shit's pretty neat. I think they're gonna get what's coming to them. I think Denver fucked up.
Yeah, you got the Bills, the Steelers, the Texans, the Commanders,
Saints,
the Vikings, the Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks of all teams. You're all running in first in their respective divisions.
That's pretty neat. Good for them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different.
Yeah, it's like a different beginning of the season shakeup. I like that.
Yeah, it's not the same 5 teams just dominating again like we've seen for the last few years. So I like it. I'm excited for it. I know you're not a huge football guy anymore, and I'm really not either, as much as I used to be. But at the same
I'm
time, I yeah, this season I'm excited for some reason. I'm sure the Commanders are going to shit the bed again because that's what we're best at. But as far as upsets and seeing new people in the dance and stuff like that, that's what I'm excited for.
I really want to see the Jets beat New England tomorrow. So I'll be
Yeah,
watching that game.
that's going to be a
Thursday
good
night
Thursday
football.
night game. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so you guys are all going to get to see this after and see if our predictions are right. But that's what you get for being a week behind like we are. That's on me.
Well, there was some stuff going on. We had a busy week.
I was a little bit busy, but when we go live, start going live, we'll have that consistency, and then you guys can get to the good shit
It's a good shit.
through other means, or the in-depth look through other means. I got like 2 mouses here, and I keep grabbing the wrong shit. Anyway, so should we jump into the MLB real quick?
Yeah,
The MLB, dude, we got like 2 weeks left.
I'm
of the
excited.
regular season.
What's going on? Who's in the runnings?
So it's also opposite land in the MLB right now. So we have the Yankees, which these fucking Yankees, and I'm gonna catch shit from the mics, but these fucking Yankees,
They managed to stay back in it, huh?
these fucking guys, they're having their first good year in fucking 10. So let's see. We got we have like a 4-way tie right now for wild cards. You got the Braves 2 games behind the Mets, Philly taking that division. You have Milwaukee that is just dominating. So
Yeah, I saw them play last night. They were pretty tough.
yeah, Chicago's probably going to get in it. You got the Padres and the Dodgers. So you basically have a 3-way fight for the NL, for the wild card between the Mets, Atlanta, and Arizona.
The Mets, Atlanta, and Arizona, huh?
Yeah, it's
Diamondbacks.
yeah.
Wow.
What is happening? My team is going to get the shit kicked out of them. Like, I don't even know what's going on with them right now.
They've kind of been having a back and forth season this season, huh?
Well, everybody on the team has been fucking hurt at least once. It's, we lost our third baseman. I mean, kudos to the guys that are in there now. Like, I think we talked about it before. They're running the skeleton crew and still pulling out some W's here and there. They've had a pretty good September. But I don't think anybody's having as good a September as Aaron Judge and Juan Soto over there, which pisses me off because I want Soto to stay with the freaking Padres.
Well, you look at the Dodgers. Did you say that they're in the running? They're looking.
They're locked up. Yeah, they're locked up.
So there's only one reason for that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean they got so much talent on that team. And you got Ohtani that's just hitting dingers and stealing bases.
It's like, he's on track for 50, right? For the season? 50 homers, 50 stolen bases?
I don't know if he's on 50 stolen bases. Yeah, he's doing well, though. He's inching closer to history is what MLB is saying. It's those New Balance shoes, man. They make him run like the wind blows.
Good for him, though. I mean, he's a badass, and I'm all for it. I like Ohtani. I mean, if I watch baseball enough to have a team, I would want him on my team, or my fantasy team or something.
So let's see. He's got 48 HRs, and I mean that's a shit ton. So he's running number 4 right now behind Judge and Soto. They're having a hell of a year. It's like Bash Brothers 2.0 with those two guys, I swear.
Yeah, and aren't they all
Soto's number 3. That's my bad.
Yeah, isn't Ohtani, like, how does their lineup run? Isn't it?
I think he's batting 1.
Yeah, I think he's batting 1, and then you've got Soto like at number 3, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it's going. And then, you have Big Bear down the list a little bit with 38 with Atlanta. But I don't know. He's like carrying the team right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think Milwaukee, like you don't hear about too many people from Milwaukee, like too many just breakout players. But they're playing insane baseball right now. They got 88 wins. So they have as many wins as the Yankees.
That's insane. And you know, in our market, we don't hear about them very often.
Well, what pisses me off too is Houston.
Mhm.
Those fucking dickheads. They got 82 wins and they've locked their division up. They've locked up the AL West. Like
West is garbage.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, you got Seattle and the Texans in there, and neither one of them are doing anything. They're 77 and 73.
Is Seattle up at number 2?
They're number 2 behind Houston with 77. Horrible. And we got all Oakland back there with 67. They're really burning it down.
I hope they bring Oakland to Salt Lake. That'd be awesome.
Shit, I'll take the fucking White Sox if we can get the White Sox. They need to sell them fucking off anyway, person by person.
That'd be cool.
I saw a funny thing today saying that yesterday's attendance was 14. Like 1-4. It showed a picture of the crowd and it looked like there was like 9 people there.
In Chicago?
At the White Sox game. I'm sure it was more than that, but it's funny as fuck anyway. That's pretty vicious.
That is vicious. I don't know how you turn your back on your home team.
I'm actually sorry to cut you off, but I'm actually adding the Chicago White Sox to the fire report right now. Chicago White Sox.
Chicago.
Yeah, they're on the fire report. We'll get to them in a minute. Fucking animals.
Chicago White Sox.
They're on the fire report. It's not going to be good.
Not going to be good.
Anything
anything crazy, wild going on in the MLB as far as arrests?
No.
Domestic violence.
Everybody's pretty much got like super hot wives and girlfriends.
Yeah.
And they're all very classy.
I was trying to dig in on the NFL on some nasty news, but there's not much out there right now.
Yeah, the MLB, they're, it's pretty, you got to stay pretty squeaky clean, dude. You got to pass the face test, to even get drafted and be able to hit a curveball. So good for you guys.
They are all pretty good looking this year, aren't they?
I mean, everybody's pretty in the MLB. Like for you ladies out there looking for an MLB player, just go for a homely one because they're all pretty.
Yeah, any old left fielder will do.
They all have fantastic mustaches too.
Yeah,
like the mustache is coming back. What's his name from the Blue Jays? That fucking guy.
Oh, his is nasty. Is it that pitcher? Is that what you're talking about?
No. He's I got to find his name here. Let me look at the rooster here. Where are you, mustache man? Well, Brendan Little, he's got a solid one too. He's a pitcher. I think that's the one that you're thinking of.
Yeah.
Shit, where is he? Anyway, dude has a fantastic mustache. So if you ever get there it is. Schneider. Davis Schneider. Yeah, flash a picture of that fucker on the screen. You're gonna get somebody pregnant. He's got the fucking the glasses, the sports glasses, and just the old lip broom. Yeah, if you get stuck in an elevator with him, ladies, you're not coming out without a baby.
Like what's his name? Yeah, I can't remember, but all those guys in the 80s just had those lip brooms.
Oh, dude, it's 80s and new. There are some stashes and mullets are just they're in.
Even some of the catchers, they're looking pretty handsome too behind the plate there, even though we don't get to see them very often. But I saw an interview with a catcher before one of the games or after one of the games, I can't remember. But yeah, he was looking hazard. They're all Mexican nowadays, I think. Most of them.
You got a couple. I mean, you got Murphy. He's in
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like Murphy. He's pretty
Yeah.
good.
He's definitely not Mexican.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got what's his name for Boston? Their catcher. He just got traded from the Blue Jays at the deadline. Danny Jansen. That dude's a stud too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Jansen.
Yeah. He's got them sweet bifocals too. The old reading glasses.
We're getting old.
Yeah. Anyway, then you got Alejandro Kirk that's 5'6" and catching for the fucking Blue Jays. That dude's fucking wild. And he's like 300 pounds.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, dude. But he's so he's fast back there for a big dude.
All those guys are catching with the same stance now too, with the one leg down. I couldn't do that. I've seen some replays and some highlights and stuff where they're catching him like in the high thigh off of the dirt. And that hurts just as much as getting hit in the balls.
Dude, like, they're doing body hardening, dude. Like somebody's just in there hitting them in the femoral with a strap.
It shakes you up so bad, dude.
And you see like there's like this much space between the ground and their balls. It's like, fuck, dude. You guys are insane.
Yeah, they're definitely hardcore individuals back there.
Yeah. Give it up for the catchers for sure. Well, I think maybe we take a break and we jump back into the fire report. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm down, man.
All right, let's fucking do it.
All right.
Well, welcome back. Let's get into some fire report. What do you think?
Let's do it, my friend.
All right. Well, I guess we'll start out with actual fucking forest fires. The fuck is going on here?
I kind of love where our fire report has gone.
Based off of where it started.
But we still need to we still need to give the folks the fire.
Yeah, we did like the fact check fire report. Now it's just the actual fire report.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got some fire report. We got some heavy blazes to the west. Not so much in the east, though.
The good thing is, I don't know what's going on. Maybe the winds have changed or something, because I know there's still some fires up to our north, but we're not getting the blowback that we were like last week and the week before.
I think it's because we had so much rain. So there's some like fires in the southeast, but there's really nothing in like the northeast. But anyway, let's talk about us. Enough about them. Idaho's still entirely on fire. The whole state's on fire.
Oh man!
Like everybody evacuating Idaho, I think. Yeah, I don't know how those guys are fucking hunting. They're probably just sitting outside the fire line and just smoking everything.
Yeah, just waiting for the animals to come out of the
like,
fire.
Yeah, like the meat is already come out smoked. Yeah.
Meat's half cooked. They're just picking them off.
Yeah, they're just shooting it. But yeah, nothing in Nevada. Idaho, you're still fucked. Oregon, you're still fucked. Cali, you're fucked. Anyway, Utah finally got a couple big ones. Let's see. Silver King, nobody dead. That's good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Digging that. Let's see over here. We had one up by the cabin. That one was scary. I was hoping that it would just burn the motherfucker down, but it didn't. Unfortunately. So still have a cabin to go to. We still have the hunting lodge, as it were.
So what about that one in Farmington? They got that one put out pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, there's like nothing in Farmington, I think.
That's good. That's good.
The weather really knocked that one out.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. That could have been pretty dangerous for those houses up there. and the
Yeah.
folks up.
That's what happens when you build your house on the fucking mountain.
Yeah, it's the only drawback.
Yeah, it's really the only downfall,
Yeah,
other than like landslides and
yeah, that's because the
water
ground
and
and earthquakes and
yeah.
groundwater floods.
Oh, like mountain lions, you know. Only
Yeah,
drawback though. Open your garage and find a fucking mountain lion in there. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for like the actual fires. So who's on the fire report today?
well, I have a few people on the fire report.
All right.
First off, Bearded Viking Meat Company, they're on the fire report.
Oh, they're on the good fire report.
Good. Yeah, they are. They're getting good marks on the fire report this week.
Good job, boys.
They always do. We love our crew and everything that they do for us. And JT, our fearless leader, and Donnie, I believe it was.
Donnie?
Yeah, Donnie. They were out at Ells and Trails. That was at the zoo out there. I think it was Billings, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the Billings Zoo, yeah.
Which was really cool. I like that they do things at the zoo out there like this. It was really cool. Ells and Trails, it was kind of a brew fest. They had a couple wineries there. They had us there. But we won first place, People's Choice. That was cool.
like first place overall. Let's be real.
Yeah, it's first place overall.
That's the most important award, right?
The people spoke. The people spoke.
Yeah, that's it. The people spoke.
Exactly. And there were, I guess, 3,000 people that came through. So
yeah,
out of 3,000 people, the people spoke, and they love Bearded Viking meat. So
yeah, I mean, getting the People's Choice Award. Yeah. Cheers to you.
Yeah, right,
boys.
And nice job, boys. Ding. At a brew fest, no less.
Did you know that you were a poet?
No, but
I didn't know that we were doing rhymes here.
A little Kalama-y? Kamala-y? And I don't like
I think you should try and do the rest of your fire report in rhymes.
Ah, man, I'm going to write it up in rhymes next time. But yeah, cheers to the Bearded Viking. I mean, we've all worked hard to get to where we're at, and this award was pretty special to JT. So so it warms my heart that we got this one, and we got him. He really felt it here, and so cheers to you, brother, and all your hard work. I think he probably worked harder than all of us, but it was super cool. And there was an open category, and we got second place in that. But the thing is about it is, we keep going to these brew fests, and they're like local breweries and, in small breweries and stuff like this, that people do. And, we're kicking ass and taking names and taking People's Choice Awards at brew fests, which is like super cool. We
can legit say that we're award winning.
Yes, very award winning.
Yeah. Watch out, boys. It's going on the bottle. Ladies and germs.
Yeah.
You gotta follow that award-winning meat in your hands. Look out.
A second reason why Bearded Viking is on the fire report in the positive column is because we sold out OG.
Yes.
Almost completely. I think the only stuff that we have left is in the liquor stores. They're in a few liquor stores and a few grocery stores in Montana. So that's really all you can get. That's the only places you can get the first batch of OG, any bottle of the first batch of OG, because we have no backstock left, which I guess that's more of a fire report shout out to the consumers and everybody who bought Bearded Viking meat, the OG. So that is a huge thanks to every one of you who supported, bought the booze, and enjoyed enough to buy another one and another one in cases and cases. So we really, that's more of a people's shout out. So thank you guys. That's super awesome.
Yeah, more's on the way. It's being brewed in bathtubs as we speak. Okay?
Yeah, because all the other tubs are taken.
Yeah, so it's back to bathtub hooch. It's gonna be tasty, just like you guys love it. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be the greatest OG ever.
Yes.
It's going to be huge.
Huge. And now for the losers column.
Well, hang on. I got a couple winners first.
Oh, you got a couple winners. Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple winners that I wanted to add.
All right.
First, we do have to, add DJT to the winner report.
DJT.
Yeah, Donald J. Trump, because
to the winner
he didn't get shot or blown up on 2 different occasions this weekend or this week. Yeah. So that's like 3 assassination attempts.
Shall we say dodged another bullet?
Teflon Don doing what he does. Dodging bullets. And
did you see the interview
explosives
where like he was just like, I gotta thank God, and it was awesome, dude.
Yeah.
God's looking out for him. The number one.
Telling you. The other one I wanted to add was the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, because they're just blowing people's dicks off with fucking pagers. So that shit was something straight out of a fucking movie.
It really was. That was out of like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. What that was.
Like, pager, beep, beep, boom.
Boom.
Blowing your dick off. That's it.
Dude.
Like,
did you see the videos of those?
Yes.
Please tell me you saw some of those videos.
I saw some of the videos, dude. Insane. I was like, holy shit. They just Talibaned the Taliban. Like, they just, like, holy shit.
Yeah, it was one of the best ruses, rope-a-dopes that I've seen in a very long time.
Dude, the mind control that they have is ridiculous. Like, I think they're going to look a little bit harder next time on distributors of pagers. And yeah. So I had to put them on the fire report for sure.
First one on the list. Like the intern comes in with a list of distributors for pagers. They just pick the first one.
Yeah.
This
guy, like, oh, that one's close. They'll be here like tomorrow. Fantastic. Holy shit. God. I would never want to piss those people off.
That was a smart move. That was great, man. I can't. Gosh.
Cheers to them, Holy shit. Who the fuck even makes beepers anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Who wears a beeper? And if your boss, so even if you're part of the Taliban or a terrorist group, your boss says, ditch your phone. Here's a beeper. You got to use a beeper from now on. How pissed I would be. Like, now you got to carry around a pocket full of quarters.
Yeah.
You got to answer pages.
What if you get like a really urgent page from your boss? You can't find a fucking payphone anymore.
And then your buddies are screwing around, right?
Pick up your cell phone and boom, that one blows up. It's like, fuck.
And they got payphones rigged around the city. You're fucked, man.
There's nowhere safe for those fuckers, dude.
No.
Yeah, the second they go to dial collect, that's it.
Yeah.
Battle's over.
Try to dial 1 + 0 to get out, 0 1 to get out. And
yeah.
Boom.
Second they dial 9, baby. Anyway, so I thought that was fucking funny. I have no remorse about that at all. And
it's a clever move.
You can take that one to the bank. Anyway, so let's get on to bad fire report. Assholes.
The loser's corner. Wait, one more that I got to put in the winner's circle is James Earl Jones, Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that one's a rough one.
Your favorite. That was a rough one.
I did not see that one coming. I thought he was going to live forever.
Me too. We saw him in Star Wars, and I didn't really realize who he was or what the voice was until I saw Field of Dreams.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, that's the guy that does the voice of, and back then I didn't really think about movie magic, right?
We didn't really do voiceovers and shit back then.
Yeah. And I thought, okay, well, so was he in the suit the whole time? Wow. That's crazy. Turns out he wasn't, obviously.
No, that guy was fucking pissed though. I saw it like
he was. Did you hear that guy's
voice?
Yeah. That guy's voice was terrible.
Yes, say Rebel Alliance, weirdo.
It was anyway. English accent or some dumb shit.
I don't even know, dude. I'm glad that they decided to do that in post-op or whatever. But yeah, that was. I thought he had at least another baseball movie in him.
I did too.
Before we were gonna lose him. Because I mean,
we saw him in The Sandlot, and he was iconic in The Sandlot. And yeah, I same thing, dude. I thought for sure he had one more baseball movie in him.
Yeah,
but it's hard to top those two, especially with the talent that was in those two and how iconic those movies were. You know.
Yeah, you can't recreate that magic. But yeah, that sucks for everybody. But I mean, he had a good run. Was he 99 or wasn't he?
I don't know if he was
in his 90s. Wasn't he?
I think he was in his 90s, but I don't know if he was 99. But I don't know. I don't think he's worked for a little while. I think he was just kind of enjoying his life for a little bit, maybe doing a little bit of here and there. But I don't think he was doing too much acting. I think he was taking a little time off for himself, which is very well deserved. But
that's another a fantastic lip broom right there.
Oh yeah. From way back too. Like if you saw some of his early movies, he was rocking it before freaking Magnum, bro.
Oh, dude, he invented the porn stash. Him and Barry White.
Yeah. So, moment of silence for James.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get. Yes. Right. Cheers to James Earl Jones.
Old Jimmy.
Okay, now we're on the loser circle. First on the list for the loser circle for me are the Haitians that are eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets, that are eating the animals in Springfield, Ohio. There's back and forth on this. They're trying to debunk it, because the mayor's coming out and saying that it's not happening, but the people,
right? The videos from the people,
the video from the people in the neighborhood, they're saying it's happening. So I'm going to believe them over. Like,
don't let Fido out in the backyard.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Keeping an eye on him, dude.
Yeah, and they're snatching the swans and everything from the local ponds. They're coming up headless. I don't know. It's weird. Yeah. I don't know if we have to dive super deep on that one.
Yeah. I mean, when you got a belly full of kitten,
I don't know how you do it where you're from, but please don't do it here. It's kind of like going over to somebody's house. Yeah. If they ask you to take your shoes off, take your shoes off, even if you don't do it at home. Yeah. It's kind of one of those things. Like if you eat animals, like domestic animals where you're from, just don't do it here.
Yeah, but it's not even like Kung Pao Kitty. It's like, I don't know what it is. How do you season a cat?
I don't know.
Maybe let's not think too deeply on this, I guess.
Yeah. I saw some squirrel videos too where they were
you could eat a squirrel, whatever.
Eat a squirrel.
People in the Appalachia, they've been doing that shit forever.
Yeah, and survival if you're, out in the woods and you're in a survival situation.
Like squirrel rabbits, they're on the menu.
They are definitely on the menu. But there's not domestic cats. There's not animals with a collar on.
Yeah, like what do you
Rex on it. Yeah, there's just those ones you don't eat.
Yeah, keep Ling Ling out of the freaking barbecue.
Yeah. And then we did bring up old Diddy in the beginning of the cast.
Oh, yeah, he is on the fire report for sure.
We're in the loser section for his involvement in whatever trafficking rings and what was the name of the parties? The
freak parties?
Freakouts.
Yeah.
That's
holy
so lame, dude.
Shit, dude.
That sounds like that sounds like a fraternity party.
Oh, it sounds like exactly what they were doing.
Off. That's what they were calling it.
Oh, the freak off.
I like.
Who can go through the biggest can of lube? Let's go.
You make a poster, as you know, in a frat that says "freak off," and you plaster out all over the campus. That's what that sounds like.
You think that it's just going to be a bunch of twerking?
Stupid.
Not like forcing dudes to do dudes.
Yeah, not hiring male prostitutes to just have their way with the party. It's weird.
Have you seen that movie, Get Him to the Greek?
It
has like Jonah Hill and P. Diddy's in it playing Jonah Hill's boss.
It was in the early days, right? It was before Superbad, wasn't it? Or was it after?
No, it was after Superbad. But the thing is like that was a pretty accurate portrayal of P. Diddy in that movie, which is absolutely terrifying because we let that slip through the cracks for like 10 years. And then we're putting it to bed.
That's where he got the idea.
I mean, he was already doing that for years.
Yeah, probably. He probably brought the idea. He was like, "Oh, hey," he brought it to the producer. "Hey, the writers, I got a good idea. Why don't we do this
myself?"
Yeah, I'll just play me.
Yeah, haven't you seen like the interviews with like 50 Cent and shit too?
No, I didn't see.
Oh, dude, it gets fucking nasty.
Yeah,
nasty.
That's nasty. I saw interviews with his ex-girlfriends though, and they're not happy with. They haven't been happy with him for a little while.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
Yeah,
this fucker's got like VHS tapes on people. He's been doing it so long, and the only VCR that plays them.
It's pretty wild. But does this surprise you at all?
No, not even a little bit. That's the thing. Is it's like, okay, so that's one guy that's on the list, right? He's on the Epstein Island list. He's on Gasoline or however the fuck you say her name, Maxwell's list that still hasn't been released, right? So, okay, he's one guy to go. How about all the rest of these fuckers?
Well, you know what's weird to me, and I might be just diving down a rabbit hole here, but I think it was the day before he got picked up. Hillary comes out with that statement about how the mainstream media is not portraying Trump as dangerous as he is, which how much more can they portray him as being dangerous? I mean, anyway, but so she comes out with that. Then P. Diddy gets picked up the next day. Do you think or should we predict there's something going on over here? So they had to show us something over here first, you know?
So I saw this thing that goes right into that. Okay. It was an online theory, but it begs the question, is this fucking true? Like really, really hard, right? So there's a bunch of stars in Hollywood that they're saying have Ozempic face, right? Just sunken cheeks, like nothing left, nothing. Okay. Well, I know some people that have got on that and they don't fucking look like that. But what also is coinciding with all of this is the semi or full shutdown of Epstein Island. Well, they're not getting adrenochrome anymore. And if you don't know what it is, look it up. It'll take you down the rabbit hole. We've talked about it on the cast before, but they're not getting their adrenochrome anymore. And the ones that have this Ozempic face, quote unquote Ozempic face, these people are ones that are definitely on the list. On the island list. And they're not, their supply chain has been interrupted drastically. So there's a bunch of fucking just goblins in Hollywood right now that are not aging well or naturally.
And fast.
Just looking like Nosferatu. Like these people are rough, dude. So I'm thinking that maybe all this is kind of going down the same line.
Hey, you know what? I mean, we can make early predictions for this. I am not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that at
Yeah,
all.
release the list, dude. As soon as that list comes out, we're gonna be like, oh,
Mm,
that's not Ozempic face. That's
it's-
adrenochrome face.
yeah.
Anyway, looking at you, Hillary. Anyway, uh, Chicago White Sox, you guys are also on the negative fire report. You fucking shitbags. Holy fuck. You know, and I feel bad for the players, especially because you never want to like meet your childhood dream with going let's see 36 and 117.
That is rough.
I mean, getting drafted to the A's is one thing, but at this point, I got to give it to you, Chicago White Sox. I would rather be drafted to the A's or the Angels because holy shit. They're talking about now selling off or getting their salary cap even lower. It's like, okay, well,
What to do with that?
I don't know, but at this point, it's like just pull up an entire AAA team because they can't do worse.
Well, at the same time, you've got they go into trades. And if you are traded somewhere, can you opt out of it?
It
Like if you're the
depends on
player,
your contract. It
okay.
depends on your contract. But the thing is it's like, holy shit, guys! Like, they're trying to Major League 2 the team, I think.
Man,
And these guys aren't exactly winning the
the pennant.
Yeah. So my question is next year or in the off season, are they going somewhere else? We know the A's are going somewhere else. Right now, it's still supposedly Vegas. It's still not looking too good. And Chicago, they're not even wanting to build a new stadium for them. So are they going to go somewhere else too? They're still on the fire report. You guys fucking suck. I'd love to go to one of your games though. Anyway, just because I love baseball.
Yeah, I love baseball.
You mean you guys are playing a team that's probably going to win? I'll probably wear their jersey, unless it's like a Houston or a Yankees jersey. But any other game.
Well, I think it was. I don't know why. I don't know the history of this, and you might know the history of this, but why would you have two baseball teams in one town anyway? I mean, the Cubbies are beloved, obviously.
Well, isn't it like it's like North Side and South Side? It's like Chicago.
I'm not sure.
There's so many fucking people there.
Yeah.
In Chicago. I mean, they're literally dwindling by the day because of, what was it, like 17 shots on like Friday night? Just
there's a lot of crime going on in Chicago right now.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe it's just the White Sox fans are just dropping like flies, so they're not able to make it to the games. I don't know. It's too early to predict.
Season tickets holders are just getting picked up.
Yeah, season ticket holders, man, they don't have a chance down there.
It's Cubbies fans just on rooftops.
Dude, like, I'm sorry if you're a White Sox fan, but like they're gonna do better here in Utah, or if they go to Nashville. So yeah, they're on the fire report for sure. Yeah. Who else you got?
That's all I got for my individuals on the fire report.
All right, well, that was a gas, for sure. And yeah, I think we lit that one up for sure.
We did.
Oh, not as good as the IDF though. That shit was the bomb.
Yes, that's true.
Anyway, moving on. That was fun.
Yeah.
Should we get into some men's mental health?
Let's get into some men's mental health.
Holy shit. Should we take a break from our sponsors or should we just roll into it? What do you think?
I think we should probably take a break for our sponsors.
All right. Well, let's take a break for our sponsors.
Let them have a word.
And
Hey, meatheads, meat maidens, beardos, and everyone in between. The boat here for the Bearded Viking, reminding you that our mead is the new go-to drink for all occasions. Pour it out of the fridge over ice, in a cocktail, in a slushie, or even heat it up on a chilly night to warm up. Any way you pour it, you won't be disappointed. With front porch shipping available in over 40 states across the U.S., Bearded Viking Mead Co. gives you the freedom to meet up anywhere, anytime. So snag your bottles at beardedviking.com. Gather your crew, pop the cork, pour them high, raise your glass, and shock them always, gang.
All right, cool. Anytime.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. And I hope you enjoyed the fucking cock. I hope you enjoyed the
Loved.
I hope you enjoyed the word from our sponsors. Sorry. You guys aren't, I mean, some of you guys are cocks, but most of you guys are all right.
If you can lay down cock in 30 seconds while we do our sponsor break,
I don't know.
good
Shit.
for you, pal.
I have been known. Anyway, so the topic is what does September 11th mean to you? You know, we just had another September 11th roll by, and we're a little bit late to the topic, but because of, you know, last week, but I think that it's important to still talk about and kind of get some aspects on, you know, September 11th and, you know, the impact that it actually had in your life. So, you know, what does it mean to you?
Well, right off the bat, you know, and you might have to fact check this with the big dog, but I believe it was a day where I don't remember what day of the week it fell on. Do you remember? Was it like a Thursday or something?
I think it was like I don't know. Let's see.
But if I remember right, we both had the day off. And we were just kind of hanging around the house. And
That was Tuesday.
yeah, it was okay, yeah. So for whatever reason, I think we both had the day off. We're hanging around the house. And then this goes down. And we're kind of in shock and awe, obviously, just like everybody else. I guess the first thing that went through my head is, you know, are they coming west? Like, how long before Salt Lake gets hit? That was the first thing that went through my head. And then the second building got hit. And then a little while later, then we hear the Pentagon gets hit. So that kind of made me think that, okay, where they're just focusing on these guys that, you know, middle or higher eastern area, northern eastern area. So maybe we don't have anything to worry about. But really, it kind of made me think about how, okay, we need to gather our loved ones. We need to figure out an exit strategy. We need to figure this out and figure that out. And it really made me scared in that sense that we were ill prepared if anything like that were to happen. And you can't predict anything like that.
Like personally, or like as like a military and nation?
Both.
Ill prepared.
Both. And it made me sad because if we were the strongest country in the world, the strongest military, and if they were able to get under our radar and do that on our home turf, I thought it made me think different of our security, our national security. So in turn, it made me feel different about, you know, my internal security or my surrounding security, and my police force, our state government, and then you look toward, you know, our parents, our, you know, our surrounding friends, family that, you know, that we had at the time, and what were we going to do? Do we arm up? Do we go to a safe house? What do we do? And all those thoughts are kind of running through. And then as time goes on, that fear slowly subsided. I think it took a month or so. And then, you go into that, mourning those who you lost their lives, right? And that was something that was, I think it was personal for everybody, especially people that were in the military or thinking about going to the military at that time, because you're like, okay, whoever did this, wherever did this, if I'm going in, that's exactly where I'm going. I'm going to war because this is going to start a war. So imagining those guys, and I don't know if you had told us you were thinking about going then or anything like that. And so I was a little freaked out about that. And it was just kind of like, it was just one of those weird things. It was almost like, not only did we got caught with our pants down, but we got spanked, and it made me feel weak as a country, because I didn't ever think that anything like this could happen on our soil to our biggest, trade buildings, or our the Pentagon, for Christ's sakes. And it was really scary, and it really made me think a little bit different about our national security. And to be honest, I still kind of feel that way still. And then years later, then we start to get into conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And that's a whole nother rabbit hole. But at the same time, maybe that's just an excuse so we don't feel like we're weak,
I don't think that those are so, we feel like we're weak. I don't think that's the case on that. I think that, if we knew then what we knew now, it would not have been a rallying cry. It would have been, we would have been going after our own government, I think, at that point. Especially just because of the things that followed, right? After that, everybody was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Toby Keith was putting boots in asses. Alan Jackson was singing songs. Where were you when the world quit turning? But it was definitely an example of them coming after us. And I think that the majority of Americans didn't even really know that anybody was pissed off at us at that point.
Yeah.
Which was odd. It really didn't seem like there was a whole lot of people that were pissed off at us at that point. Especially coming out of the 90s, our economy was insane. It was crazy. And then all that shit happened. And I don't know. So I think everybody kind of remembers where they were when it happened. I spent a lot of time in the school library that day because it was on the TV, and the librarian was just like, get bent. Like, I'm not turning it off. Like, these kids need to see it.
Right.
And I think I was in like the eighth grade, probably something like that. So like really the military wasn't on my mind then, but a few years later, when I didn't really have a whole lot of shit going on, everybody's still pissed off about it. I'm like, yeah, fuck those guys. So it was definitely like, it was our rallying cry for a long time. And so, I joined 5 years after that. So we were kind of in the thick of it. We were in the thick of fighting Daddy's war. But I think that there's so many veterans that know now that it was a whole bunch of bullshit, that are pissed off about it, that are pissed off that they went and that they lost friends and that they got hurt. And it's, there's nothing cooler, and there's no more honor, nothing more honorable than going to fight for your country. But I think, finding out, especially later on when information starts coming out that you fought a proxy war and, you were basically, we fought for the people that were beside us. And so I think a lot of frustration, at least for me, comes out of it. I can't speak for, the whole generation of veterans, but I know that there's a ton of frustration out there.
Oh yeah.
I definitely have some frustration with it and some heartburn about it. And really, did some good come out of it? Hell yeah, some good came out of it because some very fucking studly people joined the military and are doing some badass things now that maybe we would have never heard from or heard
Mm.
of, period. So it was definitely a propellant to good things and moving forward. And, ultimately we did show the just abundance of power that we have, um, to just create hate and discontent all over the fucking world, and then come back here and be mostly safe. Because I see what you're saying, especially about, when it happened, being worried that, is this shit coming this way? Is it coming west? And I think that was a thought for a little bit, but also, like, in my mind, even at that time, I'm like, there's nothing fucking here. What the fuck are they gonna hit here? It
Well,
it make
we
it
have,
make no.
and that was my biggest concern.
We had what?
Hill.
Oh yeah, but I mean, attacking some, defenseless buildings versus an air base. In my mind, I don't know. Even then, in my mind, that just didn't register well.
Mhm.
But and then, getting older and seeing the amount of just firepower and everything that we have on the coasts, it surprised me that it even happened in the first place. And and kind of knowing what we know now, it seems like a pretty big impossibility that it went down the way they say it went down.
Yeah. And I think that's why we got into some of the more conspiracy stuff, because it's like, how could this have actually happened? How could they got under the radar? How could we have not have sniffed that out? How could our intelligence from that side not know this was going down?
Well, and like we
Question.
had all kinds of intelligence reports that popped up, and we didn't listen to, and then we found out that the terrorists that flew the planes into the towers by the passports that we found in the rubble. Like,
Very highly unlikely.
that doesn't jive. Um, the trillions of dollars that Rumsfeld had talked about the day before,
Mhm.
and then that exact spot getting hit in the Pentagon. Now that doesn't jive well. We didn't know that then. We know that now. So there's a lot of, they say that things don't happen like that. The what's the word for it? My words are escaping me. Coincidences. The coincidences don't happen, and especially coincidences like that. So passports falling out of the planes. It's like, oh, here you go. Threw it out the window before you slammed into the building. Like, get out of here.
Just in
People
case
were
you need to know who I am.
yeah,
Yeah.
people are incinerated in the buildings, but the guy who was in the front of the plane, flying it, all of a sudden, the little passport cubby that they keep him in, or in the pocket that he had it in, is fine.
Survived.
So
Yeah.
kind of get the fuck out of here with that. And so we're kind of diving a little bit into the conspiracy part of it, but now that part makes me fucking angry.
Yeah, that makes
And
me angry too, because then that raises a whole different type of question. Now it almost seems like they were in on it and they betrayed us. They betrayed the American people.
mm-hmm. and
They
and then
betrayed our trust to keep us safe. We put our trust in them to keep us safe with our military, so we can go about our daily lives and try to make this country great and thrive. And then now we're finding out that you betrayed that trust that we put in you.
Yeah, and we sent our sons and daughters to die.
Mm-hmm.
And so that part pisses me off, right? And I think that you'd be hard pressed to find a veteran that doesn't piss off, that was in during that time, or that is still in during that time. Huge shout out to one of my boys though. He just made major in the Marine Corps.
Nice.
He's on the selection list. So huge ups to him. I'm not going to say his name. I don't know if he, cares or not, but I don't think he's one of the listeners, but huge shout out to him anyway. He's a major in the Marine Corps, true Marine Corps story. Sidebar, when we were in the Marine Corps in Okie, he got busted down from Lance Corporal to PFC. He's a real fucking Marine. Fought his way back up, went to OCS, and now he's about to be a major in the Marine Corps,
That's kick
so
ass, man.
That's fucking kick ass. It's legit a Marine's tale, right?
Yeah.
Of just kind of perseverance and just causing hate and discontent to fight your way back up and getting the good graces of, the Marine Corps. Yeah. So that's pretty tits if you ask me.
That is dope.
But anyway, getting back on track, that's one of the guys that's still in, that was in with me from the very beginning. And then, and there's still a few that are still left there. And the guys that I know that are left, they're some of the last guys that seen combat, that seen actual heavy combat, Iraq, Afghanistan, all that. And, real actual leaders that are left. And now you have a new crop of Marines and sailors and soldiers and airmen and whatever the fuck Space Force is doing, and Coast Guard. I don't know. You guys are shooting fucking Coke boats. That's fucking cool. That's awesome.
That is cool.
I dig that.
They're doing work.
Saving people that like capsize in Alaska. Like, you guys are doing cool shit. But I don't know how many of them were combat guys and gals. But so you do have a separation now of the new troops that are coming in, and then the fucking war dogs, right? These old, older war dogs, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got 3 years until retirement.
That's pretty cool.
Actually, 2 years till
retirement.
retirement.
I'm going to do the math because
2 years, he'll be 2 years to 20. 2 more years, and then he'll have 20.
Yeah, I was figuring he was probably only a couple years away from 20.
Yeah, because I'm only 2 years away from 20 right now. And he got in the same time as I did. Some of these guys are ahead, some are a little bit behind. So you have like this now, sad to say, my generation and, a few guys that are a little older. They're the old dogs, teaching all these new warriors how to do it. And God forbid something else happens. Right? Because will they be prepared? Fuck yeah, they're going to be prepared. But is it going to be another fucking elaborate ruse? Or that's what it kind of makes me think. September 11th. Yeah, I do feel for the families that lost people, and the families that are still losing people from, asbestos and cancer and all the shit from, the buildings coming down and being in the vicinity. Yeah, the firefighters, first responders, and everything. I do feel for them 100%. And I do feel for the guys that, went on those first missions to Afghanistan and Iraq and everything else. But I don't want to see the same cycle repeat where, they pull some other shit and we have to go in and do something. Right.
Well, that's what pisses me off, I guess, now when we think about it now, and the things that we know now and the things that we've learned, what pisses me off is because there was, for a chess move for our government, inside our government, the sacrifice of innocent lives and the impact that put on generations. It was so unfair. You know what I mean? For a chess move or a power play inside our own government.
Well, and that's what's irritating about it. That's why I keep calling it Daddy's War,
Mm-hmm.
is because it was Bush trying to pick up the pieces from Senior Bush.
His old man.
And honestly, like, it's an unpopular opinion, but if we would have just left Saddam there would have been no ISIS. Like, they would have got rid of the Taliban. There would have been no power vacuum in the Middle East. They would just kept keeping on. And was he an asshole? Was his sons assholes? Yeah, they were. But if they would have left him there, we would not be in the world that we're in today.
Yeah, I think he would have had the gumption and the power and the wherewithal and the backing to get rid of that out of his own country.
Yeah. Well, and so OIF, let's see, roughly 3,400 deaths and another 800 non-hostile. And then OEF, it's saying 2,400 and then 534 non-hostile. So you're looking at, a little over 4,000 people died in OIF on our side, and, a little over 3,000 people in OEF, just in the time that they said it was on till it was off. And then a whole bunch more people died after, we declared victory and all that.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fucking people that died. And now there's a whole lot of people wondering what they died for.
Yeah. And I guess that's kind of the question that we're probably never going to get the answers to. But at the same time, I think we should get the answers to at least the families.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody.
Well, any way you look at it, it's a somber day. It's a somber day in history. I think that even going back to World War II, going back to Pearl Harbor, we had an idea that it was going to happen. It was seen on radar before it happened. Did it still happen? Yep. Still happened. And were we kind of the cause and that was the effect? Yep. It was. And so it was still another propellant to get more bonds, to get more people in, to draft more people, everything else, because Europe had already kicked off. We were already in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But then after Pearl Harbor, we really kicked it up a notch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were already sending troops and supplies and everything to Europe.
Setting up more bases, yeah.
But really nothing was going on in, the Pacific, South Pacific with us. But after that, it was over. And again, everybody got to see the military might and the perseverance of the United States, because we weren't really in it. Like, we were building refrigerators, hanging out.
Well, and I think those
tanks
times that really kind of set us up as that superpower and really kind of showed that, if we actually really want to fuck you up with our military and our force, it's going to be too easy. You know what I mean? We it's a drop in the bucket.
Well, and, getting back, going to World War II, we weren't prepared for it at all. Most of our ships were from World War I. We didn't have a whole lot of new ships, but we started making them real fucking fast.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever go to Pearl Harbor, you'll see how many subs we were cranking out and how many battleships and everything that we were cranking out monthly. It was insane.
That's crazy.
During that time. And how many subs we lost. The memorial there of just the Pacific Fleet, of how many subs we lost and everything is fucking insane.
Wow.
But it really kind of shows you how fast things can go to hell in a handbasket between 9/11 and Pearl Harbor and everything. Those are somber days. Lots of
Yep.
people died. Lots of people made sacrifices so we could be where we are today. But if we wouldn't have entered World War II, we probably wouldn't be the country that we are today either.
Yeah, you're right. And I guess what it makes me think about too is growing up, you don't think that you're going to see any sort of hostile acts on your turf. I guess I didn't. Maybe we're
That's a total American mentality.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Maybe we're privileged in that thought, and my apologies for that. But we grew up in a time and a place where it was very calm. It was very, there wasn't a ton of crime until we got a little bit older. But there wasn't a ton of crime. There wasn't a ton of threats here. It was nice. It was peaceful. It was, we live in a city and a neighborhood too that was built in the late 40s and 50s, right? And it still it had that vibe to where it's the white picket fences and mom's cooking bread, and yeah, they had their war times in the 50s and stuff like that. But now, while I was alive, I wasn't alive then.
Well, we grew up 70s, 80s, and 90s, and
right. We didn't have I guess it was like we didn't have those scares. We had
Cadillacs and Barry White and Star Wars, and
we were coming off a little bit of the Cold War.
Light beer.
And they were talking about stuff like that a little bit, and that was in the news here and there, but it really didn't seem that threatening. And when and it's going to happen in everybody's lifetime.
Unfortunately, that's kind of the cycle. Yeah. That's the cycle that it's in.
It is, whether you join the military or not, it's you're going to be affected by it, no matter where you're at. And so, but really, the thought isn't there until it actually happens. And I guess maybe I was naive in the thought of that. You know what I mean? That this won't happen in my lifetime.
Well, the thing is too is like kind of propelling us into our next topic. As far as preparation goes, I think that now I think people have seen it. There's a whole lot of people that have grown up with it, especially if you were born in the 70s or the 80s, or I guess late 70s and the 80s, where you've been through all these wars. You've been through 9/11. You've been through all kinds of crazy, dumb shit. Recessions, fucking just wild shit, right? It's been the Wild West for like this whole fucking generation since, the mid 70s, right? And so everybody's kind of seen a whole lot of shit now. And now everybody's kind of like, maybe we should prep for this. Maybe we should buy food. Maybe we should buy lots of guns. Let's buy ammo. Let's get ready for it, because I think everybody knows that it's going to come and it's going to come around again. But to the extent, what extent is it coming?
What extent? Yeah, really.
Is it going to impact us? Is it not going to impact us? Is it better to pay thousands of dollars for all this shit now, just in case it does impact us?
Well, and I guess that kind of begs the question: is how far do you go? Do you go so far as to build a shelter bunker underneath your house? Do you buy 2 years of food and water? Do you buy 3 years? How far does it go? And then once you start going down that road, there are crazy preppers, but I can see the mentality in that and how that could really mess with your head. Really mess with your head, especially if you get too deep in thought about it. Almost like, I don't know, obsessive about it, Well,
it's like kind of dwelling on anything else, right? How much money you're going to put into it. And then that also begs the question too, is, at least for me, the way I think about it is, if you're going to prep, you should prep and buy food and stuff like that for a certain time period. How long do you think you can realistically last through it without being able to grow food or find your own food sources, find your own water sources, like that type of thing? Because you can't, I mean, fuck yeah, you can go out and buy 10 years worth of food. Like, hell yeah, you can. But if you're buying 10 years of food, you're expecting to do nothing.
Yeah, not a damn thing. Just sit in a house and divvy out your rations.
Wait for everything to come back.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of the wrong way to look at it. At least, my opinion, it'd be the wrong way to look at it. I think, getting something or getting the amount that you need to be prepared for a certain amount of time until you think, okay, we can start reestablishing this and we can find our own food and we can grow our own food and do, be self-reliant. For people buying 10 years worth of food, like they have no self-reliance at all. For those people, I would say buy a book or like
you make
10
point.
and
Well,
learn how to do kind of agriculture yourself.
I've even thought of that a little bit. I mean, sorry to cut you off, but simple planting and stuff is fine, and trying to find some sort of irrigation system that you can work that too. But there's some stuff too, like you figure if it's a I don't want to say like apocalyptic situation, but if it's an attack situation, we're not going to have electricity. We're not going to have some of these simple luxuries that we enjoy. So those are the things that we're going to have to really those are the things that I want to focus on, like trying to find substitutes for, so as far as like, okay, we're not going to have phones. So what do? We get family walkie-talkies, right? Or or ham radios.
But then how long do batteries last? So the thing is it's only so long before people start to go primal.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they say like 2 months or something like that before people start to go primal. There was I heard a study on that just recently, by the way. Sorry.
It'll probably be like 2 or 3 weeks before people really start to go fucking crazy. But I think it's like the statistic is like after the first like month, things start dying down. And then the second month, people are starting to figure out how to live without it,
Then
and the biggest
starts to separate.
Right. Well, and the biggest thing is people did it for thousands of years before, mm-hmm. Right? And it's you get used to living without the luxuries real fast.
Yeah.
And you kind of learn that in the military, the Marine Corps especially, like you learn to live without the luxuries really fast. And it's really just how fast people kind of overcome that part of it and start being worth a fuck again, or people that have never done anything before they figure out what they're useful in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
like, that's the true test of self-reliance. Sometimes I doubt myself. I gotta get, that's why I like to camp. I like to go in the woods. I like to go do this kind of stuff and just think about what I would use in my vicinity if I wasn't going back. And I'm not going to lie, like I need some work, Yeah,
I mean, the biggest thing I'd be pissed off about is just not having toilet paper. Like I could live without the electricity, but I mean, it's like, dude, fuck, I got to find a good leaf or something, In the Marine Corps, we always had TP and baby wipes, but baby wipes and the TP aren't going to be there. That's the real hit. Okay. Yeah. You're going to have to figure that out.
And clean socks and how to clean, how to keep your hygiene up when you don't have, when you've run out of those supplies. Like, how do you do it?
Well, and that's the thing. People freak out about water, but there's so much water that's readily available, especially where we are. And it's fairly easy to get to. And, even we have gigantic Salt Lake distilling water. Yeah, pain in the ass. But ultimately you can distill water.
Yeah.
Just like little things like that, taking it and breaking it down at like a micro level instead of just like being completely overwhelmed by like, fuck,
Yeah.
we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Running around with your hair on fire like a fucking Karen. But so I think those things as far as mentally, they don't really impact me as much. Is it gonna suck? Fuck yeah, it'll suck, but I think a lot of people would die. The country folks aren't gonna die. The city folks are gonna die. Sorry to say, but
It's the truth.
they have the most reliance on the grocery stores and infrastructure and everything else like that. A cattle farmer out in the middle of fucking nowhere, they're gonna be just fine.
Well, that's kind of the thing I was going to say. Money's not going to be a thing anymore, at least for a while. I think.
No, it'll be goods and services.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. We'll go back to trading goods and services. And you bring up a good point and a good thought, I guess, process in me, because it really separates the people who rely on themselves and people who rely on everybody else to do it for them, and really, and those people who rely on themselves, they're going to survive. They're going to keep on, and they're going to be, harbingers of the next generations of living folk. If that's like, on the table, like an apocalyptic situation, I think is a little bit different story than what we're talking about. But at the same time, you that comes into thought.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I think it definitely plays with it plays with a lot of people. The whole prepping aspect. And I think I would say that it's more important to prep yourself with knowledge and prep your family with knowledge than all kinds of things. Yeah, are you going to need, weapons? Yeah, you're probably going to need weapons. Probably going to need some food to get you through the first little bit. But I think, prepping yourself with know-how to do things is just as important or more for when the food runs out.
Dude, I can't tell you how much that like hit it right on the bullseye. And I don't even think we were planning on going down there, but that little winding road we took, that pretty much says it all. Prep yourself with the knowledge to survive.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro.
A lot of the military peeps are going to be there. They'll be fine. It's really just going to be, weeding out the assholes, just kind of like anything. And they'll weed themselves out.
And weeding out the users.
Yeah, but you will figure out and find out, like, the sense of community. That sense of community will come back real fast. And kind of who's got who's back real quick. So
I think too.
Yeah, will it fucking suck? Will it be bad? Yeah, it would. But it's gonna take a lot for that to happen.
Well, I think it's gonna take a lot too to break the resilience of the American mind and the American mindset.
Oh, America's fucking crazy.
Yeah, those core people that really, really have their mindset in and their boots dug in the ground. It's going to take a lot to break that,
which is pretty badass.
It's
if you think about it. Yeah, we really do have a lot of great people in the country and people that are willing to help, and I think that the greater good, and the people that are willing to help each other, I think they'll kind of pull through that pretty well, because pretty soon the assholes aren't going to have a place to go.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
And
So
you'll see people start teaming up, and like you said, that community out of necessity will come back, and
yeah,
you'll help and you'll share and you just start being good to each other again,
that'd be fucking wild, right? But yeah,
necessity. Imagine that.
I think it's definitely cool. Probably a helpful tool to do that. Fire plans, your apocalypse fire plan sketch, and figure out what you need and what you need to learn, and I think you'll get through it. But it's not something that I feel the need to dwell on, as far as my men's mental health, because obviously having two young kids, a wife, that that's the important part, right? For me, is just keeping them safe.
Yeah.
And I think as long as they're safe, the food, the water, all that stuff, we'll get that sorted out pretty quick.
Yeah. Well,
Nobody's gonna go thirsty, or nobody's gonna go hungry around here.
yeah. And you with the mindset you have, I wouldn't imagine that at all. And I guess
It's important too to like start building like community now
mhm.
too. I think with the people that are around you, the people that are in your neighborhood, neighbors and stuff like that. Find out what your neighbors are good at. Figure out the kind of community you have and the people that are around you. I think that's important.
Well, we talk about, getting with the crew and getting with a group of folks that are like-minded and people you can thrive with and share with and bring into the family and stuff like that. And I think that goes along with that. That's important. Unfortunately, people don't do that anymore. And I'm guilty of it myself. Like, yeah, there's a few neighbors that I talk to, and I talk to, I have a few friends that are parents at the school of kids and stuff that I talk to, and we shoot the shit back and forth. But I'm not close to any of them, and there's a few people in the neighborhood that I know, what they do and how, what they can contribute. And the guy across the street's pretty cool, but we're not that tight, and he's like a construction guy. He does a little bit of everything. So he'd be pretty cool to hook up with. But but yeah, it's building that community now of friends and neighbors and people who have skills and can want to contribute like that. It is kind of important. It's something to think about at least.
Well, people are commodities too, right? Everybody has something they're good at. Whether it be an electrician or a construction worker, or you know what have you, somebody that was a veteran, a cop, whatever. Those people are all going to have something to contribute. So, it's good to kind of figure out what your resources are that are close to you. But there is one more topic that I want to hit, that I think it's going to start weighing on people. And it's a little bit off of September 11th and prepping, but we are we're getting to the end of September now, mid-September. People are going to start freaking stressing out and losing their shit over Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I do want to talk about the finances and how that plays into men's mental health.
Oh man, you always pick the hardest ones. I don't know what it is, dude. But every single year, and I'm freaking out about this already. Every single year, about September or October, even August. No, it's usually around September, October. Something financially draining happens, right? I just want to have 1 year, and this has gone on for 20 years, I would say. I didn't notice it as much until I had children, and now I notice it a lot. Because obviously, you know, for Thanksgiving, you want to show, you know, want to contribute to whatever Thanksgiving dinner you're going to and all that. But the Christmas is the big one, obviously, and I think that, you know, everybody holds a little bit of stress for that. And especially as parents, you know, we do, and we want to create those memories with the kids and stuff. And that takes money. But for some reason, dude, every fall, something financially draining has happened since the kids. And
because you just have too much damn fun during the summer, right?
I guess, man, I don't know. It's, and here we go again. You know, I've spent a nice little chunk of change getting one of my vehicles going. I had a little incident at dinner tonight. Now I got to go to the dentist. Now I got to go to the goddamn dentist.
I didn't even know about this.
It's fresh off the presses, guy.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, so I cracked the tooth tonight at dinner, and now I got to go see what they can do to fix that. And it's like, okay, I get, you know, Murphy's Law, or, you know, Randall Reigns, you know, when it rains, it pours. But can I have a year off where I don't have to spend $5,000 right before Christmas? That's just really getting fucking old.
So you're saying it's really digging at your mental health, your man's mental health.
Yeah, to say the least. And you're right. That finances stress me out. Finances are probably one of, like, it would be like top two.
Well, I mean, even if you look at like divorce statistics, finances are like number 1 or number 2 on the list of why people get divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's finances. So like finances is not going away, right? Unless, you know, the apocalypse happens, then everybody will be real fucking happy.
Yeah, they'll never go away.
Yeah. So really, I guess it's really important to take a look at what you can do and what you can't do. And if you can't do it, then don't do it. I think that would be the biggest piece of advice that I have is if you don't have the ability to save, because of things that come up, and, you know, excuse me, and you don't have a bunch of money to spend on Christmas, it's important to just make the memories. It's not, you know, think back, you know, taking Christmas for an example, think back, how many Christmases can you actually remember what you got for Christmas as a little kid?
I think there was, like, I don't remember the exact years, but there was probably like 2 that really stuck out of stuff I got.
I got a bike.
Yeah.
I got a new baseball bat.
Exactly. It was a bike. One year I got a bike. It was pretty awesome. And then the next one was it wasn't my first catcher's mitt, it was my second catcher's mitt. And I was super stoked over that. And so it was like, and I already knew it was coming, but like, just to know it was there and it was mine now, I was like, oh man. And it wasn't the amount of shit that I got, because we all got tons of shit from what I can remember, but it wasn't like huge stuff, and it wasn't like grandiose stuff, but we didn't need it, and we weren't salivating over it. I think one year was pretty cool because we got this little gaming console. This was before Nintendo, y'all. It was called Burger Time, and it had like one game, one console, two controls. Slam that in, and it was like Super Mario kind of thing before Super Mario was Super Mario. But it was like, yeah, you just went around and, in mazes and stuff and got burgers.
That sounds like my life.
We were super stoked over that. But you're right. There's not a ton of Christmases that stand out where of stuff we got. So I see where you're going with this.
So yeah, so my thing is like, if you have to do a whole bunch of, you want to have a good Christmas or something like that, and you're putting a whole bunch of stuff on credit cards, and you're going into like massive credit card debt over Christmas, like you might be sending the kids the wrong message.
I agree. I think there was one year out of the whole times we have kids that we put some dough on a credit card, and this is when I was still married, I believe. And then I think there was one year after that. It was like during COVID. I was furloughed. I mean, we were just trying to live. Period. Everybody's scraping. Got 2 jobs. I put a little bit of Christmas on a credit card because to just give them a Christmas period. But other than that, I am a big believer of the same thing that you're talking about. Don't put Christmas on a credit card. If you can't afford it with
Just
some
don't do it.
savings and some stuff like that, just don't do it.
Yeah, and I think like making the memories, I definitely agree. That's super important. But I think that, just kind of doing this message early, getting in front of the holidays, and whether people listen to it or take it for what it's worth, it's everybody's had good Christmases, everybody's had bad Christmases, right? Finances kind of go up and down and all over the place. So if it just ends up being one of those years, make the memories, maybe do some cool shit. Go sledding. That shit's fucking free. All you got to do is drive there.
That's what I was going to say. Make the memories a different way.
Yeah.
Pick an activity for the family to do, or spend some of that money on going to see an aunt and an uncle that you haven't seen in a while, a few years, or something like that.
Yeah, make sure like they're the cool type that buy beer though, so you don't have to buy beer.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But yeah, I think like everybody's had those years, right? And if you haven't, well, fuck you, or you're lying. So there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But doing cool stuff, it's awesome. But like, you don't want to be paying off Christmas in July. You know what I mean?
No, just to turn around and start over again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Over
Start
again.
stressing about that shit all over again.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no, it's rough, dude. And I think it plays, I mean, obviously it plays a big part in your mental health. And I think it plays a big part in a lot of people's mental health on how the fuck am I going to do this? How, or not even Christmas, just how the fuck am I going to pay for this? And, I'm not Dave Ramsey or anything, but I kind of think that guy's an asshole. I say, I'm totally the opposite. I'm like, live while you're living. Not while you have like 20 years to live in retirement, but definitely have fun, but have fun within your means. Do good things. If you can't, then don't. If finances fucking suck, right? If you don't have the money and something's coming up, like a kid wants to play sports and you don't have the fucking money to do it, there's always different avenues to do it. Well, and there's people that are out there that understand it. Fuck yeah, it can be embarrassing. It can be embarrassing as shit saying, hey, like, my kid really wants to do this. My kid really wants to play, but I don't have the money right now. can the league cover? Or can somebody help me until I can pay for it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just stuff like that. Like there's avenues of approach, right? And I think it's important when people think that like all is lost.
Just
That
because they can't do this one thing, or they have to swallow their pride for once.
yeah, well, there's a lot of different ways to get it done. You know what I mean? And I think that's the important kind of message that I want to give is like I haven't always been able to do whatever the fuck I wanted. Like I still can't do it whatever the fuck I want. Like I like to think that I can. I can't. It's untrue. It's a falsehood. Like I'll add myself to the fire report next time if I do some shit that I can't do that I think I can.
Shit.
Yeah. You know, it, it's just it all comes down to what your personal status is and what, you know, what your finances look like, whether you can do something or not. And, you know, it's very like goal oriented too, right? It's a thing to make goals for, I think, with finances.
Yeah.
Instead of just being absolutely like down in the gutter and like getting down on yourself and thinking that you're a failure because you can't do this and that.
Well, you have to admit though that paying off a bill or like a big ticket item is one of the best feelings.
Oh
And
yeah, it's a sense of accomplishment.
it is, and you get that feeling on a smaller level, like every time you pay your mortgage payment, or you pay the electricity, or you do something where you have to walk this payment in, say to the water department, because they don't do internet yet, because you're in a rural area or whatever. You get those small little senses of
Water for another month.
yeah, you get those small little moments where you're proud of yourself a little bit. You're like, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. This is making me happy, and it's an endorphin.
Yeah, it feels good. An endorphin rush. Yeah.
And and then like I said, when you pay off that big ticket item, or you pay cash for something that you never thought you could pay cash for, but here you are, boy. I'm laying down the cash.
Big dick in a locker room, motherfucker.
Exactly. Those things really play on your mood, your mental, and so same thing goes though in reverse. If you're cutting yourself so thin and just living paycheck to paycheck, because you want to go out and do this, you want to go out and do that, and you're living above your means, and now you're paying for your debt in the rear. Not like in the rear, but you wanted to have such a good time here.
Hey, dude.
When you want to have so much fun here, or you want to buy all these presents here, now you're paying for it still a year later. It's way too hard on the psyche, on the mental.
Yeah,
you just keep repeating that cycle, and you never catch up.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, is like running shit up and credit cards and stuff like that, just trying to live, right? Especially when it's $400 to buy 3 bags of groceries and shit like that. We've talked about inflation and how just bad it's kicked everybody in the pants.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to live now. It is very hard to live now. I think it's very apparent to everybody. And rent is through the fucking roof. Cost of living is insane. I was kind of doing a cost comparison to here versus where was it? Japan. Cost of living analysis, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the average person pays like $3,000 in rent. In like the bigger cities of the United States.
The
United States.
It's insane.
You can buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath place in Osaka, Japan. Guess how much?
$100K?
$800 a month.
Oh yeah, I just meant
just monthly.
Oh, like monthly rent. Oh yeah, $800 a month. That's insane.
Yeah,
And
And
that's without government assistance? That's just on your own, right?
that's just on your own.
No
800 bucks a month.
Jesus,
It's insane.
it's
Right?
wild.
So things have gotten out of hand, clearly. Except for my hair. That looks fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It is looking
Yeah.
really nice.
Look like a real finance guy.
Even after you took your hat off. Well played, sir.
You know, when you have it, you have it. You know,
Yes.
double gun it. But yeah, no, seriously, like it's out of hand. There's no doubt about it. And there's definitely people struggling. And, you know, there's people that are deciding whether they're buying groceries or putting gas in their car. I'm totally sensitive to that fact and understand that.
And that's a scary place to be, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's important to know that, you know, all hope is not lost. You know, today is today, tomorrow's tomorrow. And you're going to get through it. You're going to do better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just, you know, if you are in one of those situations, just make sure that, you know, you don't have that give up, right? You still have that fighting mentality to, you know, get back up there, have those goals and achieve those goals, you know, paying things off. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you feel real good. You know, and, you know, being financially stable and getting to that point, it feels really good. And, you know, if you're down, you'll get there. Just stay the course, you know, stay angry, stay tenacious, and you'll be fine. Just make sure that you make, you know, good decisions. If it can't happen, then don't do it.
You bring up a good point in there with the goals, because I think that a lot of people lose sight of their goals when they get into the struggle, right? You get into the struggle, you get into the daily grind, and it's just work. You're thinking about tomorrow's work before you even punch the clock of today's work, you know? And that's, a lot of people are in that mindset. So when you're in that mindset and you keep rolling with that, it's really hard to get out of it. And it's really hard to think of your goals, of what you want to do, what you have planned for the next 2 years, what you have planned for the next 5 years, and even going 10 years out deep. And I think that making those goals and constantly working toward them, even if you have to push them out a year, or maybe if you have to push them out 6 months or maybe 2 years, it's fine, but you're still shooting towards something.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important thing to touch on. You know, it came up while you were talking, because a lot of people do. You get stuck in the rut and you get stuck in the monotony. You get stuck in the day-to-day. You're doing kids, you're doing the wife, you're doing the in-laws, you're doing this, you're doing the sports.
Doing the in-laws, huh? Good for you.
In-laws do it.
No, yeah, it really is. And, you know, obviously, if you need help, you know, make sure that you're taking all the steps and you're seeking those other avenues. But all is not lost, right?
Never.
Well, let's move on to some conspiracy corner. What do you think?
Moving on to the conspiracy.
Should we let's just roll with it, actually.
Yeah, let's run it.
Yeah, my computer crashed. Let's roll with it. Quote George Strait, we're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time.
Right.
All right, conspiracy corner. You got to quote George Strait every once in a while, right?
You have to. And people that didn't catch that, rewind it back and Google George Strait.
I've just realized that this keyboard that I have has not been broken in a long time, so I'm gonna have to snap this fucker in two, because
yeah,
it's got a palm print on it now. So
a palm print.
Yeah, you know, when you like wear a palm print in it.
Oh,
I think it means it's time to go. I need to take out some hate and discontent on this keyboard. Anyway, So conspiracy corner. If you want to switch us over there, guy.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was pouring a drink.
Oh yeah, no, it happens.
My fault.
So you have a portal built in Detroit, Michigan. Let's expand on the portal built in Detroit, Michigan. I know what you're talking about, but that is fucking terrifying.
It is, and it's going on. And if any of our listeners are big portal folk, say something in the comments, because this is something that I think about a lot, and it's very intriguing. And
Think about portals a lot.
yeah, dude,
Really?
they're in the feed a lot. But here's something that's odd. Here's something that's very odd.
Okay.
So I stumbled upon this video maybe a week ago, and I saw it and I saved it. And I went back today to do our research for tonight's show, and it wasn't in my history. It wasn't in my history. It wasn't in my bookmarks, because I am positive I saved it to obviously it should have been in my history, in my like YouTube history. And then it should have been in the bookmarks, because I usually do I have like a podcast research bookmarks folder, right? So I can go back, and because I'll see stuff in there, throw stuff in there, and I can go back and research it before the cast. Wasn't in there.
Huh.
Super bummed about it.
Why would that be?
Yeah. Say it smelled pretty fishy. So I went and looked it up, looked up some other ones. And so there's a big monument that was built in the park. And see, without referencing that first video, because she told all about it. She told who made it. And then all around the bottom, there are like contributor plates, and they have sayings on them and stuff like that, and it's almost like they sound like almost like if you were to come through from the other side, then you would look at this and know that we look at the bottom plates and know that we were a peaceful people, or something like that. But I think we've seen these a lot of times in fantasy movies and stuff.
SG-1.
Yes, exactly.
Stargate the movie.
Stargate the movie. So you have these round portals. They go through the portals, all this kind of stuff. But you look up the portal or monument built in Detroit, Michigan. It's right in the park downtown. Big old circle. And it's a very nice looking monument. In Detroit, I don't know, of all places. I would like to know where, like if it lines up with anything like on the other side of the planet, or anything like the longitude, latitude lines up with anything.
Like a ley line or something.
Yeah, because it seems like a weird spot to put a portal. But yeah, that seemed a little freaky, and we all know what path portals lead down. Very scary paths.
So, I saw a thing that said this is outside the Detroit one, but I saw a thing recently that said we have a portal at a certain military base that we're actually flying drones through.
No shit.
Like Predator drones through. And they've been programmed. They've been programmed to come back.
Like, are they armed?
No, they're not necessarily armed. But
what do you mean by Predator?
Predator drones, like our big, some of our big drones are big.
Okay.
Are big drones that can stay in the air for quite a while. And they've been using Predator drones to map out these portals and these different portals throughout the world. That are basically like that go along with ley lines and just kind of like line up with the universe, right? And the predator drones are programmed to come back through the same portal, right? If they get over there and get fucking lost or whatever, then fuck it, we just lost a drone, right? And it's not coming back. But I seen something about that, and so it's a portal big enough to fly a drone through, basically. Fly it through one side and it's gone. It doesn't come out the other side. And then sometimes it comes back and they have a new map. But portals are terrifying because you never know what's on the other side of a portal.
Yeah.
And we've talked about portals being at the CERN, like where CERN is, and them opening up portals and testing out black matter and doing all kinds of shit with the Hadron Collider. So is this one in Detroit? Is it asking for trouble?
I don't see how it can't not be.
Like, has anybody seen it like active?
No, not that I can find. No, nobody's seen it active. But I guess my thought is, though, so how, I don't know how portals work really, but if you've got, say you've got it, say I've got it open on my side, right? Okay, so hypothetically,
okay,
if I've got a portal in the backyard and I start it activating, right? So I'm getting the right, and I see through it Detroit. I see the park in Detroit. So
and it says transcending on it,
right?
It says transcending on it, and it's like, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. It says transcending, and it's like outside the city.
Well, I mean, it's not very outside the city. It may be a few blocks outside the city, but
it's like on the edge. So I mean, like if you're coming through the portal, you're in Detroit.
Right.
Like if a predator drone flies through there, it's gonna hit that building.
Yeah, it's
like not, if we fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so if I go through on my side, does it and say, you know what I'm talking about? So you get the watery vision or the watery portal hole thing, right? Yeah, exactly. So you're getting that. I'm getting it on my side. But is it necessarily happening on Detroit's side?
No, dude, because you're walking through the portal.
Right. So I go through it and I'm in Detroit. Cool.
You just step out. But, okay, so Detroit, okay. They have a portal. So what would you call the St. Louis Arch?
I don't know. But that's always seemed weird to me that they had that. But I wouldn't think of it as a portal because
you wouldn't?
No, because it's not any sort of it's a fragment of a circle.
Oh, it's a fucking gigantic arch.
I know,
made out of metal.
But the thing is it doesn't connect anywhere, right?
Maybe
it can. Well, maybe, but I mean, it just.
But who's to say that it has to connect underneath to be a portal?
I guess you're right. But
I mean, the portals that this thing was talking about just had two big uprights and a whole lot of fucking electricity.
Yeah, but you figure, like, say, we were talking about the doorways in the doors in the or the frames, the door frames too, in the woods. Yeah, you're not supposed to walk through. They have they connect, they have a thing that it's a window, so to speak, where the arch is not like a real window.
Maybe, maybe not. I guess we don't really know what's going on underneath it.
Yeah, that's true. It all really kind of depends on what's going on underneath it. How
So,
far
I
it
mean,
goes down.
the footings are what they are, right? So, who's to say that the footings aren't, completing the whole circuit?
Or they
But
might
there's a
be,
lot of people that have talked about.
and the circuit completes down below the ground.
That's what I'm saying. Is like, who's to say? Well, a lot of conspiracies pop up about the actual St. Louis Arch, and I've never been there. It looks fucking neat.
That looks super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't want to ride the rickety ass elevator up to the top or anything, but I mean, it's been up there for a while. It's pretty sturdy,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lot of people that have said weird shit happens around the arch, and that you know, the weather gets really fucking weird on the other side of it, and it could be. I mean, it's anchored into the ground fairly deep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so um, I don't really know. I could probably look up how deep the footings are, but they got to be pretty deep to support an arch of that size.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, in my eyes, that could be a gigantic portal because of how big it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It helps if you spell Lewis right.
Well, again,
They're
is it
60 feet deep.
the anchors are 60 feet deep?
Yeah, with 30 feet of that extending into bedrock.
Wow. Well, I can understand just how it being embedded into the earth as well, how it would get energized.
Well, and it's metal, right? So we've talked about renewable energy. Um, we've talked about the ether and stuff like that. So could where it's 60 feet deep and 30 feet of it are into bedrock, and it's up that high, right? We've talked about people flying drones up with strings attached to it, and they're getting electrical connectivity.
Mm-hmm.
And the arch it's fucking tall. Let's see. How tall is it? 630 feet.
630 feet tall.
So we were talking about this guy that flew his drone like 150 feet high, was getting conductivity with a ground through his drone, being able to power little motors.
Yeah. And you're talking about another 500 feet, basically.
Yeah. Can you imagine the shit you could power with that fucking thing?
Well,
You could probably power that whole fucking city.
that makes you think is how much power is really up there and how much power is just kind of in the ether, just sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
And are they harnessing it for something,
It's probably enough to make a portal. Just saying. I don't know a whole lot
Point
about portals.
made.
Let's see. Is it Eiffel Tower?
Check and see if the I didn't look and see if Detroit, Michigan Park portal was on a ley line. I don't know how you would figure that out.
Oh, that's easy. So the St. Louis Arch is shorter than the Eiffel Tower, and the Eiffel Tower definitely has conductivity. Let's see, 630 feet, 984 feet for the Eiffel Tower, right? So ley lines going through Detroit, Michigan. Yes. Let's see. Let's see. Ley lines run through North and South Manitou Island and the north of Lake Michigan. So, yes. I don't know. I was unprepared for this. Ley lines of the Midwest. Let's see. Give me a fucking map. That map fucking sucks. There's some pretty damn close. Okay, I don't know exactly where this park is, but there's definitely some that are going near it. So there you have it.
Yeah. Which that I don't know, man. It's a little.
Things get a little weird when you start messing with ley lines, right?
These are some questions.
This wasn't on the agenda, but check this out. How about the pyramids or the pyramid that is starting to work its way up out of Louisiana?
Yeah, Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah, how about that shit?
I saw one story on it, but I didn't. I don't think I even got through it. But that's
if you Google it, it's actually happening. It's a thing. There's an old timer, I forget his name, and he actually talked about several pyramids being under that area, and it's just kind of furthering the point that where the United States was actually where all the pyramids in like Egypt really was, because they found more pyramids in North America and South America than they ever have anywhere else.
So, okay, now you'll have to elaborate on that because I've heard that statement before. So, is it a question of was the United States the true Egypt,
the original cradle of civilization,
or maybe. Yeah, or were the continents one continent then, and all these pyramids were placed on this one continent, right?
Okay, so
they broke off at one point, and we moved. So at one, is the theory behind that they were one continent, or is the theory and it broke off, or is the theory behind that we were actually the true cradle of Earth civilization, and somehow it got over there? Because there's so much over there that would suggest it, and then in biblical text,
so you have a lot of similarities, okay? Mm-hmm. And if you look at Pangea, right, that's what they call the massive continent, right? When everything was connected from North America to South America and Africa and Antarctica, the whatever, Greenland, everybody, when it was all connected. But if you look at where they're supposedly connected, it's that area of the United States would be more closely connected with Venezuela. It'd be a lot easier for them to come over the border and eat cats and shoot shit up. Agreed. Okay.
Way easier.
It's not like that anymore. They still get over here pretty fucking easy, but they got to walk quite a ways to take an airplane. Mm-hmm. But the Nile River Delta and the actual the Mississippi, in the way the rivers all kind of align and come together, is actually really close to the way that the Nile River Delta is, and how all that comes in. Mm-hmm. And then you move a little bit further southwest, and all the shit that's going on in the Grand Canyon, they say that was all carved out by the Colorado River. Well, that would suggest that the Colorado River was like a mile high.
Yeah.
And carving shit out.
Uh-huh.
And everything is named after Egyptian shit. It's named after Chinese shit. Like it's really, it's kind of suspect, right?
Yeah.
And then you have a lot of the southern United States that is named, you have like Rome, Georgia. You have like you have a whole bunch of shit that's named after other places, right?
Yeah.
So I want to know
all over the US.
Yeah. So the way that it all kind of like works out, and like Pangea, like it makes no sense. I know everybody looks at it and it looks like a big jigsaw puzzle, but
Mhm.
like Russia, China, all that shit doesn't even fit. Like it makes no sense to me. It's like a whale and a dolphin getting it on. Um, so like I call bullshit on Pangea. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't, but I'm here. They're not, so suck it. um, and like tectonic plates, yeah, we might move a little bit, but I don't know. The whole thing just doesn't really jive to me. The pieces don't fit the way they say it should fit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, another thing too is that those ocean levels have been the same for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So if we're missing something, we're missing some quote unquote puzzle pieces, where did they go?
Well, and you have Pangea, it doesn't really make sense for like Atlantis yeah. What is it? Atlantis.
Atlantis. Yeah.
Because everything was together. So even after it moved apart, they're trying to say 230 million years ago. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of people that say that Atlantis was in Africa because they found concentric rings. They found all kinds of stuff that points to. I have to look up the country. We've talked about it before on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That was really it. And they found all kinds of. They found salt water. So they found like salt, remnants of salt on top of this thing. They found like seashells, all kinds of stuff.
Seashells?
Seashells.
Really?
So that either means that like the Great Flood happened or something catastrophic happened and wiped Atlantis out. So really, like, obviously we don't know the whole truth. I think somebody does, and they're not telling us.
Mhm.
But if you compare, the similarities to like the Gulf of Mexico and Egypt, it makes a lot of sense. And there's three rivers that combined, or three. So they've always said that. Sorry, I'm getting back. Son of a bitch, lost my spot. Fuck it. Anyway, so they've always said that it was where Three Rivers met, is where the Garden of Eden was.
Mm-hmm.
But they've never found it. They've looked and looked and looked. But how close have they looked here?
You got a point. So they're just kind of assuming that it was washed away in the flood or sank in the flood or something like that, but they never thought to just say, well, hey, let's look across the pond and see if maybe it's there.
Right. Well, and even if they did, they wouldn't tell us, right?
Yeah, true.
So the headwaters of four rivers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so everybody thinks it's in the Persian Gulf, Mesopotamia, and the Tigris, the Euphrates, and so those are the two big rivers. And like here we have the Missouri, we have the Mississippi, and it's all kind of coming together, right? So Let's see. I'm gonna fact check myself so Rob doesn't.
Where's that guy? He didn't even comment on the last cast.
The answer is yes. The Missouri and the Mississippi rivers meet in St. Louis, Missouri. What? Fancy fucking that.
Fancy fucking that. No way.
We have just come full circle, folks. You saw it here first.
Hey, no way.
So, is the San Francisco Arch portal? Definitely. Could it be, near the Garden of Eden? Possibly.
Hold on. But could it be the portal to Egypt? What if that was the whole thing, dude? What if it wasn't that it split off? What if they were getting back through the portals, back and forth through the portals?
How about those muddy waters? Okay. How about those muddy waters?
You know what I mean?
Let's see. I can't even scroll in on this. Fuck you. I
don't think any. Well, I don't know. There's somebody probably thought of that before, but it's the first time I thought of it.
I'm sure they have. Right now, I'm in space on Google Earth. We're gonna get there. Get out of here, wherever you are. I don't even know where I am. I think. Oh fuck! I'm in Antarctica, where I was last time. Holy shit! All right, that's got to be Africa. Let's tip this thing over. All right. So we have a lot of rivers that are connecting the United States. I haven't used this. Wow, this really it's really different than it was before.
It's really getting away from me now.
It's really getting after me now. Let's see. All right, it's gonna take me a minute to do filters here, but aside from that, let's pull that down. There's a whole lot of rivers that meet. New Orleans is a different place for sure. Some say that it's, just kind of like pure evil, but I've never been there. I never felt the vibe.
I don't even know if I'd want to go.
Yeah, I don't know if the first time that I would go that I would want to like drink or anything like that.
Yeah,
seems a little sketchy to me.
I'm just here for
research for my podcast.
Research for my podcast.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to do layers now. Let's see. 3D, no. All right, so it's coming at everybody. It's real time. Right. There's a lot of fucking rivers, okay, that all combine. But the Missouri and the Mississippi are two of the largest rivers in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Colorado's big, but the Mississippi and the Missouri got it beat.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of shit going on here in the Gulf of Mexico, or the Louisiana Delta, Mississippi Delta, whatever you want to call it, the Gulf,
Yeah.
So I don't know. And they found like the serpent mounds. They found there's pyramids rising out of the water. So pyramids don't usually rise out of the water unless I don't know, something's happening underneath and pushing it up, as far as like tectonics or water levels are going down. So which is the opposite that we're told.
Mm-hmm.
So this pyramid's popping up. Okay, so this old guy's probably onto something. They called him an amateur archaeologist.
Uh-huh.
There's a whole lot of fucking rocks underneath there that look like other pyramids. Watched a whole fucking like mini movie on it. I was really bored the other day. So, is it a possibility? Maybe. There's a guy going around in California right now saying that he had a vision telling people to evacuate California because there's about to be a big ass earthquake and that fucker's going to get flung out into the ocean.
Fall apart. Yeah.
Which in that case, that's cool because we have like beachfront property almost.
Yeah, and it'll put out their fires that are going on.
Yeah, so we won't have to deal with smoke anymore. And a lot of people in California know how to swim, so I think they'll be all right. They'll get to the high ground. We'll send the Coast Guard. Coast Guard will be there.
Yeah.
All the Marines know how to swim. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all. I think I'm surprised it hasn't broke off already with all the damn earthquakes they have out there.
Yeah, it's they're calling for a 9.0 on the California side of the house.
That's wild.
And I don't remember the name of the fault either, but it's not even the
it's not even that main one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now I gotta Google some other shit. I forgot the name of the fault.
That's what happens when you throw curveballs on the cast, guy.
I know. See, it wasn't my intention, but we started about portals, and so you have the San Andreas, that's in Mexican, Hayward and Puente Hills.
The San Andreas is the one that I was thinking of.
Yeah, the San Andreas is like the main one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of faults that go through there. And one of the faults is actually on the east end of California. The east, I guess, the east side of the southern tip of California.
So it's going to hit there, and then it's just going to shake it up in the end, and then there you go. There you go.
Yeah, yeah, Bob's your
uncle. They're going to take the top Mexico with it? That'd be a shame. I love Rosarito.
No, I think Mexico's safe.
It's just right on the line on the map that we drew.
Dude, it's just like everything else that Mexico does, dude. They just live. Just LIVIN, man.
Okay.
Like Tijuana might get hit, but I mean, it's kind of a cesspool. The rest of it's going to be fine.
Yeah, this went to a place where I wasn't expecting, especially talking about St. Louis, man.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Things really took a turn here.
Yeah, they really came full circle too.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Circle-y portals.
I accidentally did that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything, folks.
I think it means something more than people think it means, to be honest.
I don't know. But if it happens, people are going to see this. Okay. It's going to happen.
Yeah. It's going to happen. I think, that we've made some predictions this evening.
Yeah. The conspiracy corner really came through tonight. So if you get anything from this, don't put shit on your credit card. And, there's probably a portal in St. Louis.
And Chicago White Sox suck ass.
Yes. So on that note, we should probably wrap it up. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Yeah, I think really wrap this into a tight little package, huh?
I think we've gotten these people into more than they bargained for this evening.
Have fun Googling that, folks.
Yeah, you got lots of stuff to look up, Rob.
Yeah, my fingers haven't moved that fast in a long time.
Yeah, you were even typing without looking. I'm proud of you, guy.
Yeah, man. It's professional. Anyway,
so wrapping up, what kind of I know we've kind of moved or transitioned our shout outs at the end. We've kind of moved. I feel like we've kind of moved them to the fire report. But but as far as shout outs go, I mean, what do you got?
I always got to send it out to Uncle Nick. That fucker is always in the comments. I love him. He's always got some good feedback. And, that Christy, she's always sending me text messages saying that we need to watch our mouths. She's like podcast mom. You watch your mouth and, oh, hey, that was interesting. So I always got feedback. Cal Reese, he's in the comments. And that dude is just waiting waiting for us to go live. So
Dude, he's setting such a fire under our ass.
so we got to go live soon. Otherwise, we're gonna disappoint Calderise and Dr. Mike. So they're definitely shout outs.
Yeah, they're always kind of on our ass, and they're in our corner. So thanks to them, and just kind of giving us a little bit of confidence and some tips and tricks on how to start moving forward. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you got to love good people. And I will say this, if you're one of the guys like us, like you're you're kind of small time doing the podcast and you're looking to get big time, don't bite the hand that feeds. Make sure that if somebody's taking care of you, you're taking care of them. And ultimately, if you want to get big, work together. Don't be assholes. And I think do good things.
Well, and don't be afraid to take advice, and don't be afraid to, make a right turn when all you want to do is make lefts. Like it's growing, it's learning, it's advancing. And like you said, taking advice from people who have been there is really cool. And sometimes, they don't even know how they got there, but at the same time, obviously they did something right, whether it be whoever, or just take some cues, or take some notes, and don't be afraid to work around some of the stuff that you're
going to have deficiencies.
Yeah,
you're going to have deficiencies.
Yeah, the stuff you have set in stone might not work. So,
and I think the important
change it a little bit.
Yeah, the important part is lift each other up. Don't put each other down. None of us are going to get anywhere putting each other down. So let's succeed as a crew. Let's not do the shitty thing. You know what I mean?
And taking that on a bigger scale, we talked about what does 9/11 mean to you tonight, and to kind of wrap that up as well and echo what you just said. That brings us back together, and let's ride on that mentality of doing it as a crew, as far as the nation goes.
We're better together.
We are.
We
are.
On that note,
all right, buddy.
Cheers, motherfucker, and stay weird, beardos.
Shakamoas, gang.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
And we are out. Oh, he's dying. Down the wrong pipe. Got him. Shot him dead.
Once you walk through the door.